What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we've got a Total War Warhammer 2 Mortal Empires one-on-one exhibition battle for you. So these are my buddies. We've got Gojira here leading the Skaven army, and we've got CrimsonBlood leading the Vampire army. And if you guys want to go ahead and submit any of your super fun matches, or if you guys think you got some really great battles that you think it'd be great for everyone to see and that I could showcase, you can send them to me at blackironbattles@gmail.com, and I'll take a look and try to get them up on the channel. So right here is this. This was just such a fun battle between Gojira and CrimsonBlood. I definitely wanted to show you guys. And first off, we'll go ahead and take a look here at Gojira's army. So if you see here, he's got a Dual Plague Bell army. He does have the Grey Seer of Plague. He's got a good number of spells on him, so that he can, the bell comes with Scorch. It definitely comes with that Wall of Unholy Sound, which gives leadership and melee attacks to the units around it. Unholy Clamor, so it'll give pretty much, it just does a ton of different AoE stuff. Besides that, he can spawn clanrats, and he should be doing some pretty good work with that. Over here on the Plague Priest, you'll see he's also brought Pestilent Birth to get the Plague Monks, and he's also got Clanrats. So he's really just shooting for lots of summons and lots of AoE to kind of give a beefing up to all of these spears and these weak units around him. You see he's got a bunch of Clanrats. He's got some Clanrats with spears on the edges. He's got a bunch of those Skaven slaves with spears, which, guys, those are the only useful slave units to bring. I wouldn't bring, or maybe the slave slingers. But definitely these are the good ones, because they do have that extra melee defense. Besides that, you look here in the back, you see we've got 3 groups of Plague Monks, we've got 2 groups of Rat Ogres, as well as 2 groups of Stormvermin with Halberds. And these Stormvermin with Halberds, these guys are beefy. They've got a good amount of melee defense, and even though they don't do a lot of damage, with their anti-large and their armor piercing, they should be able to help out if anything big comes their way. Here in the dead center, you see he's got those super cool warp lightning cannons. I just love the way those look with those rats ready to just blast out some warp lightning. Oh man, those things are going to do some work. Let's go ahead and take a look over here at their opponents. So this is CrimsonBlood's vampire army. He's actually brought something pretty fun. So if you take a look here, he's got the Devils of Swordshaven. So those are those Regiment of Renowned Vargheists that you don't see very often. So I thought it was really fun that he was having some fun and he brought those. He's also got this group of Fellbats over here with the chevron on them, as well as up in the air. He does have this vampire with the Lore of Shadows. And he does have. It looks like I believe he brought Pit of Shades, so he should be able to do some damage, as well as just kind of buff up the units around him. Here over on the flank, he does have a group of Blood Knights with a bunch of gold chevrons, which will kind of buff up their melee stats there, and they do have anti-large, so those guys will be pretty good at taking on any big units they encounter. Which, at this point it doesn't look. I mean, the Rat Ogre should be able to. They're large, but other than that, I'm not sure what else they're going to really be able to find a home for. Besides that, he's got these Dire Pack over there, so he does have that anti-large contingent. He's got a bunch of Tithe and just 2 other groups of zombies here in the front, as well as 2 groups of Skeleton Spearmen and the Stearnsman Graveguard here in the back. He's got the Claw and the Gash. He's got Heinrich Kemler. So that is another great pick, guys. He's got the Kemler here, and he's gonna be able to summon Lord of Undeath Krell. So it was Kemler and Krell. That is so awesome. It's just always one of my favorite characters in Warhammer lore, and just Krell being bound to Kemler is pretty funny. But either way, let's go ahead and I want to show you guys this match. See the Feasters in the Dusk. I didn't remember to mention them. They're over here in the corner, and they're going to be creeping around the back and trying to do some damage. All right, guys. So first off, you'll see here these rats. Look at them. Their aim is on point, because they're going to be taking some shots, and it is always difficult if you bring something big or like a cannons or artillery, and they've got a warp lightning cannon. The Skaven can do some major work. Those 3 warp lightning cannons are always so accurate. You see their shots coming in here, and they're just taking the Claw and the Gash down almost immediately. He is gonna CrimsonBlood is gonna have to pop a Invocation and the Heck on that almost immediately. But actually, right here you see CrimsonBlood's got those vampires. He's got them right on top, and he is trying to tie up that warp lightning cannon, but that is look at that, those Fellbats are dead, and that is not, you know, that did not work out too well. Over here on the left, you'll see the Devils of Swarthaven are in here, and they're fighting in those rat ogres, and you'll see them just kind of fighting each other. But the rat ogres are not a place where those Devils of Swarthaven want to be. They've got, I mean, even though they don't have any armor, those rat ogres do have pretty high weapon strength, and will be able to do some pretty good hits. Over here in the back, you'll see that CrimsonBlood is trying his best. He is going back and forth with that Claw and Nagash, and he has wasted a good amount of ammo just trying to keep, just kind of trying to keep that that warp lightning cannon firing at it, and that is just, you know, shot after shot is. I mean, every once in a while hits, but you know, he's still keeping it alive. The Invocation Nehek is healing it, and he's managed to bring it all the way downfield with that warp lightning cannon shooting at it. So that is an accomplishment all on its own. And the battle is still very, very even at this point. So those Fellbats are down, and the Claw and Nagash is taking some hits. But other than that, the vampires have managed to get over here just in time. The Tithe are going to go ahead, and you'll see right here in the front, you'll see that they've kind of stopped up that front line, and so all of those clan rats and the zombies are kind of engaged with each other. And you'll see that warp lightning coming down, but now this Plague Bell is getting in here, and it is going to start putting some hurt on some of these zombie units. So the Plague Bell's got in here, it's going to increase the damage that all of these guys, or the melee attack and the hits. And now it coming in here, those clan rats, and they're actually getting that counter charge on the zombies, and they'll start clearing them out pretty quick. Claw and Nagash here in the back is taking some heavy hits, and that I think is going to be one of the major problems, because that thing is just so expensive, and you can see it's already starting to reach its healing cap. Over here on the right, you'll see that we've now got Plague Monks starting to join the fray, and the third level of the Skaven invasion has begun. You'll see there's just massive, oh, there's a fourth group of Plague Monks, so he is all over the battlefield with those Plague Monks. And even these zombies being summoned here, the Devils of Swarthaven are in on top of this warp lightning cannon. So is the vampire with the Lord of Shadows. And look at this. This is an awesome Pit of Shades. Look at all of those units just being tossed around in there. That is so great. And that actually sends a ton of those clan rats scurrying. So it is just neck and neck at this point. If we take an overarching look, you can see here we've got skeleton spearmen and zombies kind of engaged. The rat ogres are actually going down to just a combined effort of all sorts of units over here, but it's actually, I think, the skeleton spearmen. So those rat ogres will take some heavy damage from just numerous light units. Here in the back, you'll see those Devils of Swarthaven swooping in, but they are almost already dead. So these units of Skaven Slave Spears and Plague Monks that are over here, as well as these Storm Vermin, they're going to make short work of those Vargheists, I believe. Over here in the back, you'll see the Dire Pack are kind of coming in here on those Rat Ogres. And with their anti-large, they should be able to do pretty good work to those Rat Ogres, but I'm not sure that they'll be able to catch them at this point. The Rat Ogres are over here charging in. And you're going to see them smashing into this group of zombies. And there is zombies everywhere at this point. Kemler has been just doing a ton of damage. These Blood Knights have been just ramming into the back of everything, but there is still a ton of Storm Vermin remaining. Over here on the right, you'll see that the Claw and Nagash is still alive. I don't know how CrimsonBlood has done it, but at this point, it has reached its healing cap at this point. But it is providing, you know, pretty good bonuses to those units around it still, and it's drawing health off of all of these Skaven units that are surrounding it. Over here on the left, you'll see these skeleton spearmen and zombies are starting to finally fall. But there is still a ton of units remaining, a ton of health, and you see that the balance of power is only slightly in the favor of the Skaven. Here in the back, these Feasters of the Dusk have 37 kills. These Dire Pack are charging in, and there's just, you know, all sorts of things going on. It's pretty hard to keep track. You'll see here, it looks like the Blood Knights are finally starting to go down. They've only got 700 health remaining, and he's really going to have to do something to get on that quick if he wants to keep those alive. You see the Tithe are pretty much gone. All of the units there on the left flank have fallen, and that is actually starting to look a little bit worse for the vampires here. Here in the middle, the Claw and Nagash, we've still got Heinrich Kemler. He's starting to kind of just try to bring all his units together, I believe, which is really good because there are still some very, very strong unit here. You see there's more zombies being summoned. He's got the vampire with the Lord of Shadows there, and this Plague Priest is already down to half health. So A lot of these Skaven units are kind of routing and coming back as Skavener wants to do, but the balance of power is just so even at this point. There's probably still some more zombies that can be summoned. You can see Krell over here. I haven't zoomed in on him much, but he is just in here fighting. Oh man, look at Krell with his axe. He is so cool. But he is surrounded by storm vermin, Skaven slave spears, and those Skaven slave spears just mixed in there with those storm vermin are they allow them to take a lot more hits, because the Skaven slaves will actually take a lot of the hits for them. Here in the back, you'll see the claw and the gash is still remaining, but it is actually looking to be a little bit rough for the vampires at this point, because the zombies and the Krell and the vampire with the Lure of Shadows is pretty much all that are remaining at this point. He's still got the claw and the gash and the Sternsman, because pretty much those are the only units you ever have remaining at the end of the battle. You have a couple of zombies that you have. You have your vampire, and you always have the Sternsman, because they pretty much never break. But the claw and the gash is at its healing cap. It's slowly going down, and it looks like he has got this warp lightning cannon. There's 2 of them remaining, so it looks like those 2 warp lightning cannons are online. This claw and the gash is probably no longer going to be around. It is going to be wiped off the earth. It's going to be for the horned rat. You see there's only 129 health, 109, 90, 89. It's crumbling, and it is about to go down. Boom! Down it goes. The Plague Priest is still okay up here, even though Kemler's been trying to beat on him. Krell's pretty much, I think, off the field at this point, and there is not much left remaining. Look at how far Kemler just got knocked. These Plague Priests are like rushing to kill Kemler at this point. Only the vampire with the Lure of Shadows and Kemler remaining, I believe. Yep, it's 2 units out of 1,500. So just could not, deal with just a huge amount of damage from these, all of these just massive amount of Skaven units. Gojira really did play such a great game. He was really able to make that dual Plague Bell build work to his advantage. He was able to kind of hem up anything that came in the back of those Vargeist and different units to kind of try to get in there. He was able to use those Rat Ogres to really be the main hammer for him. So if we take a look here, we'll take a look first. We'll take a look at Gojira. He has 51 kills with the Gracier and 53 kills with this Plague Priest. So he was actually able to get some good damage going with those guys on their bells. And look at just the amount of kills on those Skaven slaves with spears. So they were really able to kill. I mean, it was pretty much back and forth zombies versus Skaven slaves, but the Skaven slaves did end up surviving. And I think it helped that he got a big boost from both of those AoE buffs from the bells. To all the clan rats, I mean, everyone gets a lot of kills when you play against the vampires, but it's these plague monks. 178 here, 104, 116. Plague monks always chop through the enemy pretty well. And these high attack guys, they were getting in there and they were doing some good work. And since he only did have one group of Graveguard, there wasn't as many units that were going to kind of counter those plague monks. You see the Storm Vermin also managed to survive. They do pretty well. They've got high defense, even though they don't have a lot of attack. And against the vampires, they do pretty well. 80 kills, 58 kills, and they were able to kind of just ward off those Vargeist and kind of keep anything from doing too much in the back. Rat Ogres, the main killers there, they did some good work. You saw them 86, 41. They were able to stop Vargeist, able to stop some Blood Knights. They did some good work as well. Star of the show was this Warp Lightning Cannon. You saw he was able to kind of just draw those Fellbats in and have them sacrifice themselves. It was able to take out that Claw and the Gash, or really just keep CrimsonBlood focusing his micro on that Claw for most of the game. And by the time it was knocked out, I think it did come back in the end and actually help finish that Claw off. So Crimson, though, that was such a close game, such a great game, and it was a fun army he brought. So I love seeing those Devils of Swordshaven. But them and the Fellbats, he just had such a hard place getting them in here. I mean, this is just a nasty build to land some of this big stuff. The Blood Knights, even though they were kind of heavily countered, they were able to get 100 kills. So they were just, he was really just doing great micro work there. overall, I mean, you know, zombies got a bunch of kills on the clan rats, but I mean, there was just, you know, 1,000 units that the vampires brought. The Skaven brought 1,600, so they overwhelmed the overwhelmers. It was just a great game to both players. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this one, and if you guys want to keep doing this, just send me some replays. Like I said, if you guys had a great game, a game you feel is worth putting up or worth having me cast, just go ahead and send it over. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe below for more great online battles. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's Battles.